Okay, guys, so we may be entering into a time of contraction into the coming day, but what I gotta say is that there actually may be a lot of volatility before that moment happens, and in light of that moment, we have to understand that this would be due to the triple witching happening on this coming Friday. Now, triple witching would actually be the major options expiries all kind of aligning into one huge jumble here, right, guys? So that's going to add additional volatility. It's going to add additional crap and a bunch of, and guys, it's just going to be kind of a mess here. But for the shorter time frame, I am seeing some things through other assets here for XRP that actually could lead to a pretty respectable upside. Now, maybe not the upside that we actually want, but maybe into I would say, a regressive upside to build a larger formation that I think could send us to a pretty good target to the upside. But before we get started, please do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, do everything necessary to get this thing to live long, thrive, and survive. My name is Arca. I'm actually coming at you here today, 10:05 p.m. Pacific time, September 18th, Thursday. Let's take a look at our price action here, guys, and find out what we have. Well, number one, I was actually going over the analysis that I provided for you last night, which was this one here, and this one from another day, right, guys? So I'm finding that the targets to the upside that I had were very confluent, although, of course, very short, right? So we had a 314.755 target, and we have a 314.17 top, or 16 top. And seeing that we had that 318, 316, 314, and observing what we had from another day over here, that, you know, it's 318, 316, 314, you know, there's still very, very similar targets that I have on that upside. So I guess I'm just trying to give myself a little bit of kudos here just because of the consistency into what we're observing. Okay, now, which makes me feel that I may actually be seeing something through the means of both the total crypto cap and also Bitcoin dominance. So let's go ahead and take a look at the total crypto cap, guys. And this is sitting in this falling wedge that we determined could be a large probability of breaking out from, right? So we've been tracking this for a few days now, a few weeks. So this formation here, guys, remember that this is the total crypto cap, right? So the total valuation of cryptocurrency itself right now is 4.03 trillion in real-time price, right? Okay, so what I'm trying to say is that this could be setting up a little bit of a formation for an upside. And that temporary downside that we just experienced here, maybe around 30 minutes ago, an hour ago, that could have been due to the building of this, what could be a shoulder, right, guys? So I want to kind of draw it in there for you so you kind of see it, right? It would be this regression here, right, as a potential that would be the head of the formation, right? Then you have this regression here as a shoulder, and you would also have this right over here as the other shoulder. So this would present to you, right? I know it's going to be a little difficult to see this, so let's just go ahead and make it a solid line instead, right, guys? Right, cool. Let's just make it thicker, I guess. There it is. Nice. And this one too, right? I think that we could be setting up, I don't know if I'm going to call it guys, this looks like a bull play to me. I know the options expiries are coming in here, and that's going to add a lot of volatility, and it's going to add a lot of uncertainty. I get it, right? But still, I can't help but to think that this has a massive power move coming in, right? So we do have that inverse head and shoulders presented here on total crypto cap, and that usually means pump overall crypto, right? So I guess let's get ourselves the shoulders bias. So this could be it right about here, right? We position ourselves for the center, right? And then the neckline, right? And then here would be the lowest part of the head. We take into consideration the center of our right-hand shoulder and apply the target to, which would be about a solid 4.2 trillion. And this is making a new high here, which is absolutely insanity. Yeah, my God. Okay. Well, okay. That's looking good. Now, I'm just going to leave this here to you, right, just for now. And I'm going to go ahead and take you to the other signal that I'm noticing, guys. But before we continue, guys, I need to, please just remind you that if you think you are talking to me in Discord, you are probably not, right? I need you to make sure that you validate who I am. Make sure to use this little hashtag right here, guys. This will absolutely display to you that I was, I was established October of 2022. And also this tag here, guys, that says I do not offer, your mirror trades or copy trades ever. Right, guys, make sure to notice that this thing is on negative. I don't accept anything, but of course you can always reach out to me. But that's you, right? I will never reach out to you, though, and I will never friend request you either. Never. I will never ask you to transfer money like crypto or whatever. I will never ask you to do that, guys. Please be very careful to whom you're speaking to, and everything would be good. Okay, guys, so let's go ahead and continue our analysis here for the trade. Okay, the next signal that we kind of noticed here. This is just about it right here. Okay, Bitcoin dominance. Price action tends to make, zigzags, right? Price action tends to move in these zigzags that allow us to use geometrics against. Now, for example, in this capitulation, right? This is a large downside here, right? Until we found a floor. We found a local floor of around that 57.26% of the Bitcoin dominance chart. So from here, we started making our upside. We started doing that zigzag that we said, right? And we marked off a very curious area because this just so happens to be the high that happened before we made that downside. So as we test the resistance of this zone, it actually happens to be the 50% of this prior area that we just broke down from right here. Okay, so this is why we kind of resisted around this zone here. Now, inversely, right? But now moving forward, this entire top side was also the resistance of the workings of this area here, which just so happened to be the tops before we experienced that new low. Okay, that's very cool. So now, when Bitcoin dominance, at least for now, when we have upside Bitcoin dominance, we've been noticing that there's a direct inverse effect here. Pretty good for the last 2 or 3 weeks now of observing. So this now, coming back to the analysis, right? Check this out. We make a capitulation event and then we bounce to test what? That same 50% area. In this case, when we're bouncing and we're reclaiming this structure here, that typically means that we are probably going to go back up and test that 50% move from up here. And not only do we test it, but we test it for a validation. So we confirm what could be the breakdown, right? This would be continuation from this point now. So upside, right? We break down, we validate the breakdown, and then we continue. So this would give you that 50% equal reaction move. So this is what I'm seeing, right? It looks like we're at resistance right now on BTC dominance, which would give XRP and everything else a lot more strength, which is already kind of happening in the chart as we observe, right? Check it out. So we're getting a lot of this upside here in a 4-hour time frame. If we compare it to the 4-hour time frame of this dominance chart, then this is that inverse candle happening right here, right? This is your downside 4-hour. This is your upside 4-hour. So very nice. I do like what I'm seeing. So why don't we just go ahead and take into account here. I think we should take into account volatility and see if we do have some of that continuation, right? So why don't we start off at a very, very granular level, because I do expect that this move is happening from a very small time frame, and it very much is, right? So this 3-minute bi-minute time frame would be upside, continues into the 3-minute time frame, which you will display a bull flag in this, and it'll give you a psychological target. Of course, everything's going to show up here in the drawings. I hope it doesn't. There we go. Right, so psychological target on this would lead towards a top side of roughly around the 305.83. There is a secondary target on this, right, that could be used from the less degen side, this one right here, guys. So the breaking out of that would give you a separate little target that would be located at 305.72, just slightly off. Okay, so if we are cascading into the upside into the 3, what about the 4? Right, we still have upside continuation into the 4, right? We need a complete downside bias indefinitely here to determine that that's the last upside average true range measurement, right? 5-minute time frame still up, 10-minute time frame looking even better, right? Wow, 15 looking even better and accelerating, guys. This is looking really good. Nice 20-minute time frame, very much an upside here. 30-minute time frame, upside with expansion, guys. We are throttling towards an upside here on the hourly as well. My goodness, the bi-hourly still not done. We have upside, maybe, yeah, actually that would be wow, that would be 3 hours of upside from the opening of the bar. So that puts us at about 4 cents up from this 306.95. So 307 plus 4 cents, you got around 311. And we know some of those targets already, right? So your 311s could be, yeah, I think I even have them in this prior chart over here. Yeah, there they are. Let's go ahead and come back over here, guys, and just take a look. This is roughly the area that we're headed to, 311.15. We're going to have a little bit of trouble here at that 309 to roughly around, yeah, 309.14 to just about 309.44. A little bit of resistance there. Pull back and validate your 308.10 or 15, and then jump into this target here. It's not done just yet, guys. So that would be, we would experience a downside from this area. So... and that's conditional now, because that's now kind of pushing volatility towards an area that might have cascading, immediate short time frames that would probably invalidate the continuation of your 3 hour downside into what could look like as the 4 hour, right? We still have 2 hours and 45 minutes to close that damn thing. Yeah. So, okay. Downside continues into the 4. Let's see. 6 hour time frame continues 8. We have the 12 continuing, almost there, still 3 days, and that would be a total of 4 days downside. Have we done that already, though? So your 4-day downside low, that would come out to just around 279.69. We're at 302. We had to mention that the last time here too, guys. I don't think that's going to be the case here. In fact, your 3-day time frame just opened, and it does have a pretty nice bias here, and it does have a bull pennant kind of building here as well. And not only that, guys, is that also we're at 50% the prior 3-day bar. So this is your 50% retrace, right? Then as you continue towards the upside, you come up to the resistance to where this bar closed, right? So that would be roughly 307.46. The resistance that we're looking for now would be between 307.46 and the top side of this existing 3-day candle, which would be just around 310 with a liquidity grab at, guess where? 311, well, 310.81. So yeah, I will validate that, guys. I do think that we have some troubles coming up right around the 309 into the 311s. Okay, guys. So I believe that this is looking okay. It does also look like we're building some kind of regression at this point. We have a gigantic inverse head and shoulders in the building here, in the making. Right on top of that, we also have what looks like to be it could be a bull flag here, guys, in the larger time frame. Right there, you go. So this is looking, really, really interesting, to say the very least. And should we have a breakout from this larger time frame, then what, screw it. Let's just go ahead and measure it out. That would give you a target of just about, I know the math, guys, sorry about that. I know that would give you a target of just about what? A target that we've already talked about. 348.39, 338.72, and 359.05. Last thing to tell you is that, yes, well, these, let me go back to the 4 hour, right? Here you go. Well, the formations the analysis or the analyses that I'm presenting to you here look alike. I want you to remember something, though, that's unique. This one is the falling wedge, and we are simply practicing the zigzags of what is part of the breakout formation for this, right? Breakout, retest. Continuation to the upside, we got retest still, right? Creating the zigzag, continuation. So if it is that we're really doing this, then that presents me that I have to tell you about something else now, because this is now building something a lot bigger, like what I told you in the introduction, right? This is building, it could be a bull pennant, guys. So this would be something like this right over here. Right, and this would be your regressive bottoms right there, guys. So if this is really building this gigantic, bull pennant, this is, yeah, we're validating upsides to that upwards of 340s, 350s. So let's just go ahead and take your measurement from the back end, right? Just about this right here, and apply it to the area where we presume to break out from, right? So this, let's just say that it broke out from here. as your 340s right in there. So, yeah, I mean, here you go. What if we just test it out? I mean, for a mid target, right? I don't know where we're going to break out from, but it would probably be at the 50%. These are 12-hour bars, so this would be within the next 2 days or 1.5 days or whatever. So if it is that we're breaking out from this point or whatever, this would be giving you around a 326 target, otherwise known as 324.43 to roughly 321.57. So again, right, 319s, 318s, 321. This is looking massively bullish, which is why I'm saying that we might get the top side that we think we want, right? But that might not be the case either, because if we resist from these areas up here, look at the target that I'm kind of pointing at, right? Check it out. As I approach this area here in the next 12 hour, we would be approaching around a 312.98, 313, but we would have to use live targets, right? It isn't always just that wick perfection. We would have to use these historical price points. Like, for example, this area here, next to this one right over here, right, has a lot of confluence, a lot of bars kind of connected to that. Now look at the target on the right. I'm moving it all the way to the right, 311. And what did we just say on the prior chart? We have the confluent thing right here, 311.15. So yeah, guys, and that's I know, just expect a potential pullback from that area there, right? And then I mean further compression, right? 50% day decompression before an upside, something like that. You know, I'm just putting it to you in a way that you can understand it, putting it to you in a way that maybe you can kind of see what it is. Apologies about that, team. What I meant was actually just up here. You'll get this 312 or 313, 311s, right? Get this resistance. Then you pull back the market, right? 50% that day retrace and then break out. Maybe that's what's happening. Maybe that could be the catalyzer here to break out. But we certainly have the 2 touches of the support, which validates your formation in the first place. Okay, guys, so I think that's pretty good for tonight's analysis. If any questions, you reach out to me at arcabulls@gmail.com. And I will speak to you guys very, very scary Larry soon. All right, adios, team. And yeah, adios. Please take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. Ever. I need you to do your own due diligence, and everything will be cool. But with that said, team, I wish you well. A very, very good rest of your night and or day. And I will catch you at the Bell Mañana. Adios, team. Oh, yeah.